Hi, Gocsy here. Now AFL is back. I'm doing my season, what would you call it, prediction. What's coming up. We've had a long off season and it's back now, so I'm going to be talking about a few things. Obviously, the teams have gone through their pre-season. You've got draft, trades, all of that. They've run through their pre-season games, getting a feel for different positions and stuff. Like they say, running through the midfield, getting more minutes, all that sort of stuff. And now we're ready for the games to come back. Obviously, they're trying something new. The AFL's a few games up in the northern states to kick things off, which has ruffled a few feathers down here in the heartland of Victoria. But AFL trying some different things. Um, I'm going to um, I'm going to run through a few questions that some people have sent in. So start with Chris Cutler. He's asked about Harley Reid. Will the pressure, obviously number one pick. West Coast have had a rough few years. I'm not over there in the Perth in Western Australia, but from all reports I've heard, just like blanket media coverage on the back of the newspaper, that sort of thing. So I'm just finding Chris Cutler said, do you reckon the excessive Harley Reid hype, i.e. the West Australian, that's the newspaper, will have a somewhat negative impact on his on-field performance due to the pressure slash high expectations of him? Well, look, anytime you're a top pick in the draft, particularly number one, people rate you. Obviously, must have been a gun junior. I don't know who's watching juniors, but seem to be a lot of people rate him. He's coming in back in the day. You used to have to sort of build yourself up in the gym, but a lot of these young fellas now they're ready to go, and he's going to be slotted straight in. So there's going to be a lot of expectations on him. But I've always said, Australian football, it's not like basketball where you can get your LeBron James type guys who can grab the ball, dominate. It's obviously a large field, team game, so he can only do so much. So we'll be looking to see, can he do his role? How does he go in his position? That sort of thing. So I would not be expecting huge things of him, even though, look, in recent years, these guys have been coming in, haven't they? Dacos, Sheasel, Sam Walsh, and they're just ready to go. It's amazing the junior setup, I guess, has these guys prepared for professional footy. So yeah, I'm going to say I think he'll be able to handle it, but it's as much a physical and a mental thing for him. So, all right, moving on to the next question. This is Gocsy's big 2024 AFL season, predictions, and next one we got Ryan White, who asked, can Essendon break a 20-year finals win drought? Well, Ryan, look, I've got quite a few mates who are Bombers fans, so I've got a soft spot for Bombers, but it's tough. Look, talented players, big club, they've got all the facilities. I usually park my car when I catch an aeroplane right in front of the Bombers facility there at Tullamarine, next to the surf place. But so they've got the pieces in place, but can they do it? It's one of those things that just gets harder and harder because everybody talks about it, right? Um, it's that weight on your shoulders when there's a long drought like that. As a Saints fan, I know about droughts, of course, but I don't know. I just really don't know. Like, first, you got to get in, right? Like Saints got in last year, didn't win a final. You got to get in, play your best footy in September. That's the hard thing. It's a marathon to just win enough games to get in and play your best footy in September. I'm going to go with no, unfortunately, Ryan, sorry, but I've got a few mates into the Bombers, so they'd be very happy if that could happen. Okay, next question we've got from Robert Verhoeven. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sounds like a bit of a Dutch name. He said, where would you put the 20th AFL team and what colours would you make them wear? Add in the mascot too. Look, it's a tough one because obviously you can go by population growth. That's why they put in Giants, didn't they? That's such a growth area. I mean, I've been saying that the NRL should be putting a team in the sort of Ipswich, Logan area of Brisbane. The Lions have gone into Springfield there, so I don't think that'll happen. Maybe you could go like they're going Tassie, aren't they? Maybe it's a tough one because you can't really say Canberra because Giants are trying to use their maybe like a country Vic team and they rotate around. They could be like Ballarat, Shepparton, Warrnambool, that sort of thing. Colours, I think you'd go maybe represent the Goldfields. Call them like the Golden Boys or something. I don't know. And the mascot, yeah, it could be a guy digging for gold or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's a tough one. They've got pretty good geographical coverage now with Tassie. Some people mention NT. I think it's a bit tough with the. I think the AFL likes taking a couple of games there. But all right. Next question. Another difficult name to pronounce. Ben Slowichka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. He said, should Sam Mitchell come out of retirement and give himself a run? Oh gosh, what is he up around 40 now? I don't think he'd be in the best nick. I think he'd be very happy being a coach at the moment. Look, full disclosure, I bet on the Hawks finishing very low last year. I had them in bottom two, I think. North and Hawks I had, but they surprised me. Look, well-run club. I don't like them. I don't like Hawthorn. No need to beat around the bush. They'll come out and say it, but they are a well-run club, and I'm not going to rule them out this year. All right. So next question sent in was Troy Sutherland. He has said, "Will Harry Sheezel be caught eating cheeses?" Oh, look. He gets a lot of disposals, doesn't he? So you need to be quite fit to get around the ground. I don't know if Cheezels are in his dietary setup. There's a lot of sports scientists and dietitians these days. I don't know if Harry's having Cheezels, but that would be a funny bit of nameplay sort of thing, wouldn't it? So that's most of the questions. We've had a few other funny ones here. David say if the Broncos played the Saints, who'd win? Obviously, I'd say, what sport are they playing? But then you could also say Saints have the number advantage over the Broncos. Dylan Podziadli said, if Fraser Garrick and Chuck Norris had a fight, who would win? I'd probably go with Fraser Garrick just based on age. I think he's a lot younger than Chuck Norris. Dale Gilpin said, imagine if a Docker actually played a blue. Yeah, that's interesting because I like the teams where they're sort of like human things like Dockers, and then for blue, like what are we dealing with there? Some people say blues, like the musical subgenre or whatever. Gary J. Kime said, which team will have the most drunken scandals this year? Either code. Well, we're doing AFL here, so I guess seems like there's a few. I think there's a few wild guys down at Western apparently. Brett Parker said, why do the Saints even bother? Yeah, look, no, it's been. I always say as a Saints fan, you gotta have thick skin, but you know, they're trying. Hang in there, Saints. Keep going. There was some good signs last year. Jared Fee said, "Who has the best name in the AFL, and why is it Grind?" Oh mate, love a bit of Grind. Interesting name that one. And he went and cut the dreads too, didn't he? I love looking up a white dreads player in the AFL. You sort of your Josh Thurgood, that sort of thing. What else we got? Brad Patterson, where will the Roos finish? Well, mate, I've actually got my full ladder prediction coming up, so tune in for that. Ethan Romerall said, who's the best AFL team and why is it the Sydney Swans? That's a bit cheeky. Well, like I said earlier, Hawthorn, very well-run club. Collingwood, another well-run club. So it's a bit tricky to say best AFL team. Then you got teams like Geelong, Cats. Look, West Coast Eagles having a rough few years, but they're another well-run club, like massive amount of members and success. So yeah, I know that I'm sitting on the fence a bit, but any one of those, West Coast, Geelong, Sydney, Lions aren't too bad. They had rough couple of decades. Tully Whiteman, how far can the Saints go, mate? I'm trying to temper down my expectations, but I believe they could win a final. Let's not say go ridiculous, but I would not be surprised if they got to a prelim final. Josh Stanford, who's your smoky in both comps? Well, we're doing AFL now, so I'll say Smoky, I reckon. What do we got? Carlton could push through. Lions. Ryan Hefford, apart from bringing back Ben Cousins, what can WA teams do to improve? Mate, I'll be hitting the Conti rolls. I love a Conti roll in WA. I'll admit I'm not the biggest spearmint milk fan, but definitely the Conti rolls, love them. Okay, so now I'm going to do my 2024 AFL ladder prediction, starting from the bottom and going up. So we've got bottom, West Coast. Like I said before, well-run club, a lot of success, but just don't have just so many holes in their list at the moment, and we've got to get rid of some of the dead wood. Look, they won a premiership in 2018, so you can live off that for a bit still. Next is North Melbourne. I think they've added some good young talent, but again, still a lot of holes in that list. After that, I've gone Hawthorn. Hawthorn's a tough one because I did pretty well last year, but I still see a lot of holes in that list. Then I've gone Essendon, Richmond, Fremantle. Now this one's a bit of a tricky because they're a great club, but as people often joke about, they are quite old now. Geelong. Then I've got Gold Coast Suns, Adelaide, Western, Sydney, Greater Western Sydney, Port Adelaide. Then I've got St Kilda, Melbourne, Carlton, Brisbane, and finally at the top, Collingwood. Now, I know that's very similar to last year's ladder, but there'll probably be a bit of mixture going on, but look, that's how I see it. So, alright, that's my 2024 AFL season sort of predictions, preview, that sort of thing. Let's hope there's some good footy played. It's back now. We can all the pre-season stuff that people talk about because there's nothing on. Now we can get into the meat of things and proper games. So enjoy yourself, check out some footy, and let's get into it. Hope to see you at a game this year.